Hey, what's up, guys? This is going to be really quick. I did happen to get myself an AEA. I want to say thank you to Ben and Letitia at the pellet shop. So, I got the AEA Defender Airringer. It actually is not that bad. I mean, it is a completely polymer setup. There's barely any metal on this. Open sights. So, to work this thing, pull back on the rear sight, which is actually your release, and it breaks open. Now, this particular setup comes with the fill adapter, a 100 burst disc, and it comes with 2 cartridges with bolts. Yes, this is a bolt shooter. Doing some research, they actually do have a 35 caliber kit and a pepper water, as they say. It's pepper water, not pepper bulb. This is pepper water cartridge system. Now, this is a cartridge based system. So, instead of having a bottle or a cylinder, all the air is pressurized into the cartridge. So this particular setup is for the bolt. You unscrew the top like so. You take your fill adapter and you screw it back in. Has an O-ring on it right there. Screw that in. Screw it in tight. Finger tight should be enough. You hook this up to your air tank. I do see people using their compressors. If they have the smaller compressors to fill up your guns. I'm gonna use a tank. It's a lot quicker. My only qualm about this: the rear unscrews also. When you unscrew it, there is an O-ring back here to seal, but the O-ring doesn't seal against this rear cap. Now, as you can see, this cap has a burst disc. That's why you get a 100 burst disc. So, you can't really see it, but inside of here, on these 2 flat rings, or the actuators, I guess, there's a needle, if you want to say, or a firing pin in each side of these, inside of each one of these, I'm sorry. So when you fill this up, and you have a brand new burst disc in there, my assumption is, because there's not too much out there on this particular handgun, the AEA PCP pistol, the burst disc is your seal. That's what keeps the air from coming out the back of this cartridge. There are other cartridge-based systems that have been around. For you guys who've been around for a while, there was Innovertech, and then there was the Modoc. And they had cartridges, but they didn't utilize a burst disc. They were sealed internally. So basically, the cylinder is a valve and your air cylinder all in one. That's what this cartridge is. It's your valve and air tube all in one. On the Innovertechs and the Modocs, they didn't have a burst disc. They had basically, you had a firing pin on the hammer. It hit it like it would a traditional bullet. It would release the air. There's a poppet. It would push it forward, and the air would come out. I'm still trying to figure out how to take this thing apart. I'm assuming this right here, as you can see right here, this section right here, I'm assuming that comes off. But if you use any pliers or anything, you're gonna mar this thing up. But I have not filled these up yet. I'm scared. I heard Afro Sniper X say these things can take up to 5,000 psi. I'm not gonna do that. He did fill the 4500, and they have a little punch to them. So, me being me, I'm gonna fill the 35 first. And then if I feel good about it after I take an initial shot with that, I'll fill it up higher. But anyway, you fill this up. Once it's filled up, you're not able to unscrew the back. The pressure is holding this together. So then you are able to do the front. So you just unscrew the front, put your arrow shaft back on here, or your bolt shaft, screw it on, and there's no O-ring on this. I checked both of them. There's no O-ring, so I guess there's no O-ring needed because no air is coming out of here once you fill it up. So you go ahead and screw this back on, and I've tried this a couple ways in loading this. I've put the bolt on. There's an O-ring there to seal. Put a little silicone on there to keep the O-ring in good condition. So go ahead and push it on. It will push the bolt forward because of the air you're pushing into there. But you push it in there, hold it, stays in place. Now, I have loaded this like this. And when I put it in, I give it a little twist for the fletching. And I've also loaded it with, actually let me do this, take the bolt off through the front, because once it's loaded in you can't pull it back out without the bolt coming off. So I have loaded it without the bolt. I've stuck it in and then held this in place like this, and then I put the bolt over the shaft that way just to see if I could do it. It's probably easier and safer just to load it with the bolt on it already, then push it in, give it a little twist. There it is. So on here there are these on this side and this side. It's like they move forward. So what I'm thinking, what I've done, I've pulled them forward, held them in place, then put it back in place. It allows the cartridges to drop down lower, because if you leave them like this and then load it, you can still do it, but you might want to pull this back, then let it go to catch it. Safety's on this side. It's on safe now. Now it's on fire. You can see the red dot. Trigger pulls pretty hard. Heavy, I'm sorry. It's pretty heavy. It's not that bad, actually. It takes a little practice. It does have a pick rail on here, but it's also a dovetail rail. You can put dovetail on here. I tried putting on my red dot, which is a pick rail red dot. It didn't fit. It was too wide. So you may want to, if you have something a red dot has a pick that'll get closer when you clamp it up, that'll work. The weight's not bad at all. Maybe a pound. I don't know. I'll have to weigh it. But once you load it and you're ready to fire, aim at your target, pull the trigger. It's a, how do you say it? So when you pull the trigger, it fires the top bolt first. You pull the trigger again, it fires the bottom bolt. So it all happens like that. It's easy. There are other models that actually have a red dot. That is what this would be, the red dot, and the light would shine out of the front right here. And again, I haven't shot this yet. Just haven't had the time. And I've just been looking at it a lot and making sure I knew what I was doing. Comes with instructions, and Ben warned me. They're in German. I'm not German. Heck, I'd expected Chinese just because AEA is a Chinese company, but it's in German. But it's actually a pretty good catalog. It's really nice paper. It's shiny. It's got lots of pictures in there. If you're a picture person like Shooter 1721, yeah, this helps out a lot. The case is pretty nice that it comes in. They got the foam insert right there with everything cut out for everything. So in actuality, you could take this out and stick it into a real pistol case, and you would have this already set up to put your pistol back into. Now, this is geared as a self-defense PCP handgun. You might want to look into your city, county, and state laws on that. just to make sure you can legally use it like that. It does come again with, like I said, with a pepper water kit. And again, it says pepper water, not pepper ball, and it comes with a 35 cal kit. They have a shorter version of this, because this is actually the AEA Defender Airringer, and you have the regular Defender, which is actually about like that. So you take off this section, it's about that long, maybe a little longer than that. And I looked at the 35 kit in that, and the 35 kit actually on the shorter version of this handgun comes all the way flush right here, so it actually looks like a real gun. It's meant to shoot JSB pellets, of course, or any 35 caliber pellet. I want to use lead ball in that 35 cal kit because it is a smooth bore setup, but I'm hearing that the compression or the back pressure when you fire it may damage the pins. I don't know. I'm willing to try it, but once I get that kit, I will be messing with it. But again, I just want to show you guys this little handgun, the AEA Defender Airringer, and actually says Airringer right there, right there. And when I've looked it up online, it says it too. Like I said, overall, I like the way it feels. It's comfortable in my hands. I don't have very big hands. I don't have no small punk ass hands either. I don't have very big hands. But I don't know, we'll see. We will see. Check out Afro Sniper X. He's done a couple videos on this. I think there's a couple other videos on this out there already. It's just another offering from AEA. You know, they do a lot of rifles, bullpups, semi-auto. They're really good for the Zeus. There's 3 more PCPs they have that are run on the cartridge based system. They have a pistol, a revolver that comes with 3 different barrels and 7, 10, and 14-inch barrels, I believe. I think you get all 3 of them. They have one that looks like to me, it looks like a 300 Blackout, and one that looks like a 50 BMG. Those are ones I really want to get my hands on just to play with, just because I like to shoot long, and you know, they look like they'll do it. But oh, on the burst disc, you can buy these by the 100. I don't remember the price. They're fairly cheap though, and I think you can get them in a count of 300. You can get extra bolts. You can get extra cartridges too. Oops, there it goes. You can get extra cartridges. So they have fully accessorized for this particular PCP, if that's what you want to call it. So if you're worrying about getting parts for it, you can. Hell, you can even get extra fill adapters too. So buy this, get like 10 of these, fill them up, and have yourself a good old time. Again, remember, you do have to use the burst disc to seal it. But any questions you may have on this, call Ben at the pellet shop. Actually, go online to thepelletshop.com and email him, and I think he has his number there too. But contact Ben, he can tell you more about these. Other than that, I'm gonna go put this up, go shoot my other rifles, and I'm gonna sport the Predator JSB. And oh yeah, by the way, got pellets. Yeah, I said that. Bye.